Brace yourself for a shocking revelation. In the gripping limited series All Her Fault, the true villain isn't who you'd expect. But here's where it gets controversial. It's not the women at the center of the drama, but Peter Irvine, the seemingly concerned husband played by Jake Lacy. And this is the part most people miss: his villainy isn't just about his actions, it's about the toxic web of lies, manipulation, and emotional neediness he weaves to maintain control. Let's dive into why Peter is the show's most complex and chilling antagonist. Spoiler alert: if you haven't binged all 8 episodes of All Her Fault on Peacock yet, now's the time to pause and catch up. We're about to unravel the tangled threads of Peter's deceit and the devastating impact it has on everyone around him. At first glance, All Her Fault seems to blame its female characters for the chaos in their lives. Marissa, Sarah Snook, is accused of negligent parenting when her son Milo is kidnapped during a casual playdate. Jenny, Dakota Fanning, is criticized for letting her job cloud her judgment, failing to properly vet Carrie, Sophia Lillis, the nanny with a hidden agenda. And Carrie? She's painted as a deluded villain for her desperate attempt to reunite with her biological son. But as the series unfolds, it becomes clear that the real architect of their misery is Peter, whose actions are rooted in a deep-seated need for love and control, a motive rarely attributed to male villains. Here's the twist: Peter's villainy isn't just about what he does, it's about how he justifies it. Creator Megan Gallagher intentionally flips the script, showing how Peter's compulsive lying and narcissism stem from his inability to accept responsibility. His tragic flaws are on full display when we learn that the kidnapping plot traces back to a car crash 5 years earlier. Peter, driving the night he and Marissa brought their newborn home, caused a collision with Carrie's car. In a desperate act, he swapped his dead son's body with Carrie's healthy baby, setting off a chain of events that would haunt them all. Years later, Carrie's discovery of the truth leads her to kidnap Milo, hoping to force Peter to reveal his secret. But Peter's manipulation knows no bounds. He kills Carrie's father during a botched ransom drop, stages Milo's miraculous return, and continues to gaslight his family into believing he's the hero. But here's where it gets even darker: Peter's need for control extends to his siblings, Brian, Daniel Monks, and Leah, Abby Elliott. A long-held family secret reveals that Peter, not Leah, was responsible for Brian's childhood injury that left him permanently disabled. Yet, Peter has spent years shifting the blame onto Leah, fostering her guilt and addiction while trapping Brian in a cycle of dependence. This toxic dynamic highlights Peter's true villainy. He doesn't just hurt people, he uses their pain to extract love and loyalty, ensuring they remain under his thumb. And this is the part most people miss: Peter's downfall isn't just about his actions, it's about Marissa's realization that there's no way forward with him. In a heart-wrenching finale, Marissa, driven to the edge, uses Peter's soy allergy against him, inducing a fatal reaction with just a touch of soy on her lips. It's a moment of grim satisfaction, one that Gallagher refused to keep off-screen. "It's too big of a moment to be off-screen," she explains. "We want to see it, and we want to be with her during the decision-making." Now, let's talk controversy. Is Marissa's act of killing Peter justified? Or does it make her just as morally compromised as he was? Gallagher and Lacy both argue that Marissa's actions are a last resort, a desperate attempt to free herself and her family from Peter's toxic grip. But what do you think? Is Marissa a hero, a victim, or something in between? Let's debate in the comments. For Jake Lacy, Peter's character was a fascinating study in narcissism and self-deception. He fully believes in his own existential innocence, Lacy notes. That lack of willingness to accept responsibility is the most damning thing in the end. Peter's inability to see beyond his own perspective ultimately seals his fate, as Marissa's quiet, unspoken glare reveals the trap he's fallen into. Here's another layer to consider: Gallagher's decision to expand the Irvine siblings' story, particularly Brian's disability, adds depth to Peter's character while addressing important themes of representation. "I have a disabled child," Gallagher shares. This was an opportunity to put two different kinds of disability on screen, cognitive and physical, and to capture them truthfully. This personal touch not only enriches the narrative but also underscores Peter's cruelty in exploiting his brother's vulnerability. In the end, Peter's villainy isn't just about his actions, it's about the emotional prison he builds for those around him. His desperate need for love and control turns him into a monster, one who can't be redeemed. As Lacy puts it, there's no living with that person. Final thought-provoking question: does Peter's need for love excuse his actions, or does it make him even more despicable? Share your thoughts below, let's keep the conversation going.